Hey guys, what's up? Going to do a game review this morning. Happy New Year, by the way. Hope you have a great 2023. I've been submitted this by Jose Raul, long-time follower, supporter of the channel. Jose gives us a lot of useful tips. And this is a game played against woman FIDE master Serafima from the United States. I don't know anything else about her. But let's dive into the game, because apparently it's a cracker. So, and I know this is in the Calabrese Countergambit, so Jose is playing what I play against the Bishop's Opening. So Bishop's Opening is pretty spicy, bringing the King's Bishop out instead of like the Vienna or the much more natural Knight to F3. Okay, and the Calabrese is the immediate Pawn to F5. Now, Serafima here is rated 1802, and this is a 10-minute no increment game. Okay, so Jose is actually like 150 points higher rated, and this is already this is going to be quite rare for your Bishop's Opening players. Do they take the pawn? It seems like a free pawn. Obviously, Black has then got pawn to D5 once this guy's gone, hitting the bishop, defended by the queen, and gaining a really nice centre. So it's a bit like the King's Gambit in reverse with these pawns here. You know, if White plays that, but they don't have the bishop out on the board. So here, White takes, and I think the move has to be... I can't see the moves, and I haven't looked at the game yet, and I haven't analysed it, so we're really going in just raw with this. I always play Knight F6, yep. Okay. And Knight F6 for a few reasons. One is prevents Queen H5 check. The other one is also supports D5, which means if our Queen has to vacate her post at any point, let's say go to E7, then D5 is still playable, defended by the Knight as well, so all good. And I have had this position once or twice myself. We have Knight F3 and E4. Knight F3 is a funny old move because it walks right into the pawn advance with tempo. So are we going to see the knight come down here with ideas about sniffing around f7? No, knight d4, okay, centralizing the knight. Now surely d5 has to be played. Yeah, okay. So d5 is played, hitting the bishop with tempo. If the bishop comes here, it's just going to walk into another pawn in its face. However, b3 also isn't great. So we have bishop b3. Now we could here... Oh no, we couldn't capture the pawn because the knight's defending the pawn. There we go. Okay, so we're assaulting the knight. The knight now retreats, and now we can grab the pawn. There we go. Grab the pawn. Okay, this knight, how many times has this knight moved? Is that its fourth move? So the knight now pivots around again to g3 square. You see how White is actually behind in development here. Has no centre, right? Whereas Black could actually technically castle now, you know, with all these knight moves, and there isn't even a gambited pawn because we've won it back on f5. That's what I love about this repertoire. Okay, bishop drops back to g6, still, you know, having some influence over the centre there. We have pawn to d4, hitting our bishop. Now we could retreat the bishop, make it a tall pawn a little bit, but it is then looking at this knight from here. There is an en passant option, which point pawn takes would not be good. So we'd end up with queen take. No, we can't end up with queen takes. But if pawn takes, you've got doubled isolated queens. I would capture en passant surely here. Yes, Jose is reading my mind, or I'm reading his. Okay, and we do have pawn takes. Okay, so it's not doubled isolated. It's just the isolated pawn because we've captured this one on the way by. Okay, which is what en passant means. I'd imagine pawn to c6 could be played at some point, trying to imprison this bishop. However, it feels too slow now. I think castles is an option, getting the rook onto the semi-open f-file. Then we just have to be careful about this pinned pawn, because the king will be right behind it. So, you know, if I was playing conservatively, I think c6 and build up. But you've got to like Black's position. Black is ahead in development. I mean, we could even think about like queen e7, get the knight out and long castle. That could also be good. Get the rook and then maybe straight over to e8 in one turn. I don't know. Let's see what Jose does. Queen e7, one of the moves I mentioned. Excellent. Okay, so what have we got? I mean, knight here falls to pawn. Doesn't work. Knight here achieves the objective, but it's all about this knight. This knight's done nothing but run around the board. And look at this queenside, nothing out. Okay, so white goes for queen, the queen block. Our queen is defended, so we do actually have time now to play the knight out, for example. This knight's defending this pawn right now, and there's no c-pawn or e-pawn that can trouble that pawn. So I would expect Jose to develop. No, Jose trades. And white recaptures with the king, not the knight. Okay, so I guess leaving the knight out in the board, I think she's just thinking, I can't undevelop this knight again. Okay. Interesting call, that one. Definitely. I'm still keen to get castled and to get my rooks. I want to get a rook onto e8 as soon as possible. So, okay, c6 now, right? We have bishop tension. What are we going to do? Drop back to b6, and if takes, we recapture the a pawn, then freeing up this rook, maybe? No, pushing on. More aggressive. Pushing on with tempo. I like that. Okay. I don't think you want to play this, because bishop takes, c takes, then we are the ones with double isolated queen's pawns. The king is the only defender of this pawn right here. Okay, so knight d7, absolutely. I think long castles is still definitely an option. Short castles is not right now, because it would be illegal, because we'd be in check. Okay, white now finally pretty much completes development. And we long castle. Good. So, yeah, I'm quite pleased that I've been able to call quite a few of the moves. Okay, rook h to e1. Rook h to e8. And in comes the knight, lodging itself in the middle of the board. I don't think I would consider this, really, because then you're just going to end up with another replacement knight right on the same square. You've lost the bishop pair, and it's a bishopy board. Right, we've got open files, one completely open file, semi-open files here and here. Only two pawns that are interlocked, and yeah. So this knight is now looking at our bishop. We could drop to here. Yeah. Oh no, okay, so he trades knights. Right, trades knights. Now we end up with another knight. Yeah, I missed the fact. But then we still have this bishop now under attack. So I'm still thinking bishop b4. No. Oh, we win a pawn. Hang on. Two defenders, three attackers. Simple maths. Right, we win a pawn. Bang. And now if that moves... Trading off? We're a pawn up? White does have the bishop pair. This doesn't work. Bishop takes, we take, we lose our rook. Okay, so Jose trades. And b5, the move b5, that is... So, I mean, he's not thinking about a5, a4, because this bishop just, comes around. Well, I don't know. I don't have an explanation for that move, but then I'm not 1950. Okay, pawn to g3. Is white looking to kind of hide the king away, making use of the fact that we have no light squared bishop? I mean, I'm thinking that knight f6 looks really natural. It's on a defended square, and it puts our rook behind this nice advanced pawn, who can then run forward and cause trouble. But this is good, okay. So rook f8 now, and we're threatening g5, attacking the pin piece. So I'm guessing we're going to have king g2. Yep. Okay. And now a5. Okay, so what Jose's doing is just thinking, okay, look, I've got a 4-on-2 pawn advantage on the queen side here. I'm going to press it up. Right? This is a significant imbalance in white's favour. Particularly this guy is completely unopposed. There's no pawns like we said on the c-file or the e-file. White actually has a 1-pawn advantage here on the king side, but now what white's done is like tuck the king away. It's like this is now the king's safe space. So I'm not expecting white really to start throwing the pawns up, but we shall see. Okay, bishop moves away. h6 now, just squeezing in. It's like the garbage compressor in compactor in Star Wars. Okay, and h4, yeah. h4 just makes sense. Okay, now not f6. Check. King moves away. King is now going to stick to these pawns like a limpet and just try and shepherd them up the board. Okay, pinning the bishop. This is nice. The bishop is under attack now twice. So what's going to happen? We've got pawn here or king here. I think is the only choice, really. Okay, so f3. And now knight here. This is the nice move. Okay, so the bishop can't take because the rook behind it is undefended. Therefore, the bishop is technically pinned. So we're attacking this bishop, and it can't go here. And we really would like to trade our knights for either of these bishops and deny white the bishop pair in the ending. So what's she? I mean, she could run away down there. Yep, there we go. Now what? I mean, Jose does have the option of sticking this knight on an outpost on e3 now, which comes with check. Yes, absolutely. King moves away. Now this knight is sitting pretty, eh? Now he's not going to sack the exchange here. What is Jose thinking? Jose, what are you thinking? What are you going to do next, my friend? I'm thinking probably like pressing up. I think rook e7 is just kind of sensible, you know, defending this back, the pawn. That's the rear of this chain here. Yeah, king b6. There you go. Bishop up. Not doing a fat lot, to be honest. There. So just continue to improve. Okay. Yeah, bishop d6. Now this pawn is pinned here. Excuse me. And also getting out of the way of Charlie, so Charlie can now press up as well. Pawn presses up on the f-file. Swinging with check. This is now a new outpost for the knight, which can now be defended with h5, maybe g6. Comes with check if the king approaches. Okay, he doesn't approach. And we trade off the rooks. Okay, yeah. So this is a check. We can now force the exchange of rooks, because in fact that's been on from here. So now this is always, this was on, but we're waiting for this pawn to move forwards because this pawn's currently guarding g4. As soon as this pawn moves forwards, now he spots that he can go there without being captured and force the rooks off the board. We're still only a pawn up. Serafima has 4.5 minutes. Jose still has over 6 minutes on the clock. Okay, back to our original outpost on e3, which is a lovely square. Comes with check. And again, the pawns are just creeping up the board. Okay, not... I guess, yeah, the idea here is literally to win a pawn. You know, the king will recapture, and we don't really want that. So knight retreats. Bishop comes again, swings around again, pawn comes up. h5 might be playable here, because if pawn moves forwards, we can then lodge the knight on there. If trades, we can recapture with the knight, so that might work. But no, we are just pressing again, pressing with c4, pressing with these pawns up the board. Trade, knight retreats. Okay, knight is now maybe looking at coming here, which is quite handy. But then this square is defended by the bishop. You see these bishops working together can be really strong. So this is not a cut and dried advantage for black at this point. And, even though I said earlier on, I can't see white pushing these pawns up, having moved the king back here inside this little pyramid, it is the right thing to do. Because that is white's, the two imbalances on the board in white's favour are pawn majority on the king side and having the bishop pair. So with the bishop pair, yes, we want to open up the board, give these bishops the longest view that they can have, and also pressing up the pawns on here. And Jose's doing the same thing. He's got the pawn majority on the queen side and really in the centre with Dave the d-pawn. So this is a move I struggle to explain. I guess it's a possible discovery against the b-pawn, to be honest. Okay. All right. So this is now guarding the promotion square, and this bishop cannot protect the promotion square anytime soon. I mean, however it comes down to this diagonal, it's going to get annihilated. So in comes the knight, hitting the bishop. All right. Pressing up again. So Jose's now saying, I've got this pretty much covered, right? Whatever happens here. Currently the knight's in the way of the bishop, so this knight probably wants to, get a wriggle on. Can't block the pawn because of the bishop. Knight might just come back here and he said, look, if you try and promote, you're not going to get anywhere. Okay, interesting. And this is a good move by white, because this bishop was just dominating this diagonal, together with the pawn here protecting that square. So what white's doing here is saying, look, I'm going to force this bishop off the board. In fact, black can't even save the bishop. He can come back here, and then if bishop takes, king takes. But then we've got an issue with this, because the bishop's defending that square, and we might have to sacrifice our knight and end up in the final throes of this game with a king and a bishop against a king and 4 pawns, and white's got the 2 pawns. Now that might still be playable, but we shall see. Okay, Jose initiates the exchange, and now yes, you can stop this pawn, but you have to give up the horse to do it. But with the endless advance of these pawns up here. Okay, we recapture the d pawn. I guess it doesn't really matter much. This bishop is actually currently guarding this. See, our problem is this pawn advances, we capture, the bishop takes, the bishop's still got this diagonal, which is covering 2 of the squares from these pawns. If we'd have taken with the b pawn, then yeah, Dave has still got to pass through that same diagonal, doesn't he? Toughie. Okay, so anyway, Dave takes, pawn advances, we're going to have to trade off. Yeah. Right. Game on. Game on. King and bishop, and a 1 pawn against the king and 3. Presses. Yeah, king is creeping up. This is like, these are the most powerful pieces right now, Okay. White gets the king in first, so now we can't get to this square, which, we could be pushed away from there anyway with the bishop. So, is it king d5? No, king back. King back. King back again. And again, okay. And Jose's just going backwards and forwards with this king. And now a5. Now we can't push here. But the issue here is, of course, you have to be aware that white can't win the game with a king and a bishop. You can't checkmate your opponent with a king and a bishop. So, if Jose eliminates this solitary pawn that has never moved so far in the game, then he's guaranteed at least a draw. But this isn't playable right now, because takes, and then this pawn's going to fall as well, and it will be a draw. So what can we do? The king comes back around. There's no point pushing. Okay, King comes back in now. If pawn takes, king takes. Oh! Was that a blunder? Was that a blunder from white there? You've lost your bishop. But now, this pawn advances, king snatches the pawn. And we are left with a king and rook pawn ending. If white can get his king into the corner, her king into the corner, I think she can force a draw there. But she's a bit low on time, but that had to have been a mistake. Oh! We're not even taking the pawn. What? Okay. And he's used a second on that. He's not even having to calculate this. Hang on. So there, the king can't go to this square. If the king goes here, I guess we can snatch the pawn and get back in time to guard Charlie. Pushes. Now the king can't go here or here. Right, so if b7 now, we promote first, and next, whatever happens, we can come here, can't we? Oh, hang on. No, because... Oh, what? Okay, check. Queen can't block the check, because pawn takes, or queen takes. So the king has to move. King moves. Now... Pawn guards, pawn guards. If queen here, king is forced here. If here, it's a draw because queen takes. Pawn must take. Then king takes pawn, so it's down to two kings. So that's not... This is... I think these are the only two possibilities. Let's figure out this one. King is forced to that square. Then here, and king is forced there. Yeah. Oh, he finds a different one. Queen a3. King comes there, like, okay, back here. On the back rank, okay. Yeah, Seraphima is now struggling for time a bit. Jose doesn't want to get a draw by repetition now. He's definitely in the driving seat. And this move is that doesn't work because then queen takes, king takes, pawn draw. Okay. Now no check again. Now we give check. King retreats. Queen in the corner. King here. Queen here. King, I think, is then forced to d1, is he not? Yep. And queen d2 is mate. Okay. Pawn c1 is mate. This is Jose, who constantly tells me that I had a quicker mate. Well, so did you, pal. But very elegant, beautiful game. I'm tempted to have a quick look at the review, see how they all played. But very nicely converted ending. Wow. 12 mistakes and 11 mistakes. Okay, black made no blunders. So we were black in this game. And yeah, surely this bishop, losing this bishop, yeah, that is the blunder. And that's forced mate in 15 moves. King takes his best, yeah. Great move. Yeah, and now this is the key thing. You have to remember these pawns are guarding these squares, so the king now cannot get in. Okay. Okay, so queen over there was actually more accurate. That forces this. Let's just see how that works out. Oh, that's elegant. But yeah, I can see black's doing really well. The game's absolutely littered with missed wins and mistakes. Wow. So this move was a miss, apparently. Wow. So look, I mean, the thing that's striking me from this game is that chess is such a subtle game, right? There's no fireworks going on. I mean, I think the end game was very, very insightful and good, good learning experience. But look, we've got a titled player, we've got somebody just shy of 2,000 here, and we get a load of mistakes and misses in games and inaccuracies. I mean, I've got plenty of games like this. But the point is, what a battle, and getting the win over a title player always has to be nice. I've never done it. I'd love to do it one day. So yeah, really interesting game. 23 and 25 best moves. But the point is, it's about getting the win, and he did that in this game. I mean, at one point, White was actually in a really winning position here. So what did White do so wrong? So C3 was a mistake. D3, and the bishop can't stop you then. D3 here, and if the bishop goes here, it's no longer guarding H7. So D3 is best. This is a mistake, and D takes was best here. D takes C3 is best. B takes C3. Wow, White is actually in a winning position at this point. What did White do wrong? Wow, advancing the pawn. Okay, and that's a great move. And technically now, with accurate play, this is a forced draw. Okay. And that's a miss. Well, it's not really. So now it's saying that actually still White can win here. Great move, okay. And just this backwards and forwards now with the king. And it's saying it should be a dead draw. But yeah, so basically what we're saying is that White blundered that ending. Should be a draw with most accurate play. I like this, nice patient move, and this was just unfortunate. But yeah, lovely win, lovely game. Jose, my friend, thank you for sharing. Hope you've all enjoyed going through this as much as I have. We're into 2023 now. About to hit 10,000 subscribers on Chess Bootcamp, which is all good. Also, still remember that you can sign up for Chess Bootcamp live and get your first month for just $9 instead of the full $49, and come and join us for 4 interesting live sessions and have access to the full archive of the previous training sessions and my Woody series as well. So yeah, give that a thought. If you want to improve your chess this year, we can do it together. Okay, thanks for watching everyone. See you soon.